fights against them. At the moment, DRX are playing some slow rounds and not really getting anywhere with it until they go for the fights.
That's concerning, I think, that waiting outside C, not clearing any of the mollies, pulling out some of that util kite.
Sorry, I'm a bit late. I'm currently dog sitting, so I was just making sure that everything was set up there. Beth's going away for the weekend.
Taking a lot of damage in the process. In through the C site now we go. DRX get the confirmation. So player lurking out through waterfall.
Does Feng commit to this? It would be extraordinarily ambitious to go for it in a 4v5 when you only have classics. So presumably, if Trace were able to get a pick hero there, maybe that would justify expending the ultimate.
Yeah, might hit the go button.
DRX don't actually have very much space on site here. They don't control waterfall. They don't control spawn.
Yeah, they are kind of backed in, so a showstopper here could be good, but kind of like Josh says, you probably want a kill before you consider using it.
Yeah.
And then there's a counter showstopper on the other side.
They are one of the most, you know, quote-unquote
It's just not time now.
we have out of the China region in terms of how they play. All about trying to be efficient with the rounds, and they don't make too many risky plays, even though timing would have been right for it potentially into this one. Still, as you said, going to be going down to the spike here, denying a lot more. But this is DRX now with 4 rounds on the board. They're getting up to this next buy round and starting to feel a little bit of a worry for Trace, I think.
Absolutely, especially just their decision-making in that moment.
Timeout the Destroyer. Give me a second.
They already have Pit. What are you worried that Mako's going to get up to his Omen ult?
Yeah.
Like, why not go for that and try to do some economic damage at least? Keep DRX honorable. Okay, never mind. Let's move on. Round 6 in the lower bracket here at Champs.
Same setup by Trace.
Very, very similar. Are we still getting that paranoia off the beginning from Law King? Yep.
Yeah, paranoia, Horn 2, a lot of that missing as well. The Horn catching Foxy9! How the hell did that happen? Couldn't quite get out of there. I'm not sure if the nade rebounded and broke his TP. Might have been hard committed. No, it looks like it's still up on the minimap, so I'm not sure what happened there from Foxy9.
Yeah, mate, neither am I. I mean,
okay.
He was overwhelmed with utility coming at him. He's trying to find a timing past the paranoia, and then he has to deal with the Horn and the Boombot. He didn't have it. He didn't have the mental bandwidth, I think.
Nade though, it's going to be bouncing off the back wall, clears. And partitions out this side, still Kite. He's going to be holding strong. Needs to be that stalwart defender, but he's going to be dropped from the rocket, but still goes at least pound for pound there. Nade again to back them away. Still these kills in the favor of Trace. 3v2 for their retake, but a Pit placed down, propped up. Very difficult to deal with if you are Trace now. It's going to take a couple of raw duels, maybe a bit of spam, getting lucky. They're going to be hoping for it, hunting for it. Rifles in hand. In terms of util to work with, it's not too much here. Adjustment, smokes, drop the Bane! My God! Just wrangles that rifle and brings it closer and closer to victory over the precipice. And a 5th round for him, with how important that is as well. Economy most likely broken for Traces. Listen, I'm no mathematician. They might be able to scramble together a buy off the back of it because of the loser's bonus, but this is getting really, really tricky.
Certainly is. And another big round from Bane. He's had a couple of them so far. He's 8-1 in the server right now. Good to see a rookie player that hasn't had the best performances just yet at Champs find his place, find his footing. Trace are going to be broken. The economy's not looking good for them. He's dead right, and they're looking to push.
Taking that contact as well. Oh my God, weaving in and out of the bullets. Barely escaping death there from that main fight as well. Trying to put the squeeze onto DRX.
Nice
Chasing
reaction.
them from behind, yeah, and it is a good reaction.
I like this. They got out just in time to avoid those players pushing them from C. Now they should have a good idea that it's an MTA site. They should be accelerating. They're a little slow with it. Foxy9's watching the flank.
Alright, I'm here, sorry.
But he's really going to be locked down onto this spot.
On Eco again.
Nailing these shots. There's a bit of danger that he potentially might lose his operator. Needs a bit of help from the rest of his team, but Plaid's down, and apparently easy pickings for him. He's on for the ace.
That's definitely going to make this
Going in the other direction.
Grab the 4K on the anti-eco round as everybody's pushing you one by one. Not bad. He does his job there, Foxy9. Stops any level of danger. Trace, try a little pocket pick. But I think what we've seen so far from them in these first 7 rounds is that they do look a lot less comfortable, a lot less good, strong ideas compared to the maps that they've been winning on so far at Champs, which is Ascent and Bind. We've only seen them win on Ascent and Bind. We've only seen them play on Ascent, Bind, Sunset. It's a bizarre situation in which they got the same map pool against Vitality and Leviathan.
That's why we were kind of thinking about, okay.
Carb's good.
As well as Foxy9 does.
But immediately you sort of know that there's maybe 3 towards A, so you go fast B, and Heybei can't die there.
Listen, team's already up 1, but he decided to take the fight anyway.
No Trace can win. You were here. I mean, I've been watching the whole thing.
Good additions to try and clear their space into it, but a corner.
Nice position from beyond.
Happy to oblige.
Yeah, nice.
Right over the shoulder. Buzz dropped in the process now. ADS, but lining him up. Flashback might just be their savior. Weaving in and out of the angles. That's ridiculous. Even getting a bit of a run on as well because he knows he's done the business and done the damage. Feng Feng needs to isolate this fight.
Yeah, I can't win it.
Drops him.
Oh dear. How winnable do you think this match is for Trace? It's winnable, but I predicted that they would have beaten EDG.
Trace is going to take a tight time out here. It's already been called. It is ridiculous, I think, that they got themselves up into a 5v4 and then committed to try to stop that. I don't believe that we saw the snake bite come out. I could be wrong about that, of course. But it looked to me like Heybei had swung without really having too much of an advantage in terms of how he's going to stop that from snowballing on top of him.
Yeah.
It's a scrappy game right now. DRX seem to be hard leaning into.
Is this the second time out?
I do think that that's a good game plan, but it's creating chaotic situations all over the place.
No, it's just the first.
The same swing over towards Rumble
and over again.
Because he's realized he can get in front of the paranoia. So in Foxy9's head, he's thinking, okay, Law King's throwing a bad paranoia here, I can punish this. And then Tracer thinking, oh, he's running in front of the paranoia every time, we can punish him. So it's just a bit bizarre.
Hey Breeze. Trace did a great run, but it's really hard to win in top 8, especially against a team like DRX that are looking to actually like really compete.
Form being that decided.
Or top 3, I'd say.
When I think us coming into this, we're looking at the map pool overall.
Trying to find a way to leave this.
Winning on the bind took a
there we go, that's better.
EDG. They hard antied them. I went over that VOD.
But yeah, hey Breeze, hey Kakashi, hey BJ, hey Lucky, and #1 fan.
Yeah. But EDG really did hard counter a lot of what Trace were doing on their setups, and it has knocked their confidence. Even still, it shows with them second banning the map in this map pool, in this big ban system that we've got here with these games played.
Let's have a look at the A-Rubble fight again, though. Does Foxy9 get in front of the paranoia?
Oh, yes, he does.
Yes. Do they try to punish him again? Yes. Same.
Hey Mersey,
Like
how you doing, bud? Expect Trace to even come this far since you watch China? Not really. I knew that they were like they're the best, most disciplined Chinese team, but they often lost their edge in bigger games, kind of like they are now and against EDG.
The alarm bot as well, so they've got rid of some decent util over here. Trace got good information on the A site. Do they choose to go for a lockdown?
Like on this, it's like DRX. You're playing up against DRX and EDG. There are two teams that are very familiar with Trace because you either played them in China or Trace said that they've scrimmed DRX a lot. So DRX are acutely aware of how Trace like to play.
But they've already lost 2.
Yeah, so the lockdown is going to be used to try and play this one, but the nade is perfect. It just rebounds and
yeah, breaks it.
It's untested, it's untempered here by Trace, taking him onto this map, and you're going to need raw individualistic aim to carry them through this round for even a chance of a win. Listen, the Guardian's in our hand with decent amount of chip damage. Pushing back Foxy9 in through the corner. Bane, though, still locked onto sight. Slightest of off angles. Anticipating the wide swing, and he'd be right on the money with that. Earns himself a kill as a result of it. And rapidly...
Yeah, Reds are playing this well.
Here for Trace once more.
What do you think on Neff and BLG? It's a really good move, having Bael as well as the head coach. It's a good thing to build from BLG. Because if they can like keep individual performances from like K-Knight, YZ, Yosemite, and then still have a little bit more like structure and a way to play around the map, it could be a real contender for the region too.
I think mostly because Fnatic got caught off by the composition and how well DRX played around it. Foxy9 was having a blinder of a day on Chamber that time. But Buzz...
Yeah, Neff is a great pickup.
Had over 1 KPR in that entire match. And this is the kind of game where you can really flex your muscles a little bit and try to take things to Trace.
Yeah.
Right, here we go. Does Foxy9 swing in front of the...
Why is he ready to slow down? You'd hope so.
Sees nade this time, but again, it's probably not going to be stopping him. Yeah, as soon as the util goes flying, he's back out of there. It's pulling out so much of the util from Trace that leaving them with nothing but scraps, really, for a lot of these retakes.
He's fine doing it at this point. There wasn't a paranoia used from Law King, so Trace were trying to adjust something there, and it looks like Foxy9's not really trying to contest the angle anymore. He's doing the same thing because he realizes it gets his team a util advantage, but he's not actually staying long enough.
Around 10.
So we are now seeing both sides adapt to this fight over towards Rubble in subtle ways. Foxy9 gets...
Imagine being reverse 210 DRX this time on Lotus.
In his face. Should get broken by his team as the Viper wall goes up.
Bianchi.
Well, that's also the benefit for DRX. Is like, okay, you're playing up against a Bian IGL team. Yeah, there's just nothing that you can do.
There's no defense over towards the A Rubble.
I mean, I had Trace beating EDG,
Just immaculate.
and then EDG losing to DRX. So I'm kind of predicted DRX in this one, even though I expected EDG. But yeah, the way the Trace are playing right now, everything feels a little bit shot.
That space once more in through B. There might be an appropriate response again from Trace. They've got two.
That discipline that Trace often relies on, letting him down a tad up until then.
Just not good enough. And time now on the other.
All right, nice Trace. 8-4 would be splendid with the way that this has been going. Is it Jova? Anything extra that Trace can get, I'd be happy with. The fact that they're here is enough for me, you know?
So incredibly important for them in their run at this event. We've seen him wear his heart on his sleeve too. And it would be crushing for either of these teams to go.
But I think I had Trace making top 4.
Teams home from our playoffs.
So that's a bit of a shame.
That advantage, that extra lifeline of the upper bracket.
I think maybe it's an element of like
Trace and DRX.
similar to BLG and even EDG way back when, but there was an element of it's fine to watch VODs and to feel like you know a team like Trace, but I imagine them playing him is a very different story.
Not managed to punish him. They were going for that wallbang spam to try to aim punch him, knock him off the angle. Instead, the fight comes towards me.
I did want them to shove fight before getting eliminated. Yeah, I mean, they did a little bit with their EDG series in the second half of the second map, but it's too late then. You have 2 10-2 halves. You might have the same here. There's just horrible first halves to a map before you start to actually look. And it shows that there's a big problem with Trace how they start. Like they're losing the first pistol, they're losing the first bonus.
He's only watching for the flank.
They're eventually making the right fixes.
Yeah, Kai's able to survive. Still time is running out here.
Prowler just into that corner just delays him from peeking until a little bit longer. But that should have meant that Trace would have got into position to fight that a bit better, and they just didn't. It's Fung, isn't it?
Shots off, but yeah, quickly approach in terms of his position. DRX just trying to essentially get this up to a 10-2 finish at the first half. Looking unstoppable.
It's absolute domination. It really is. Trace don't have the layers to their game on this map, despite picking it, which, you know, that's a surprise in itself today, I think. But they don't have the layers. For example, here, there's no real idea of what they can do to stop the showstopper from Buzz, taking all of that space away. And you see it in the body language there from Bianchi, the IGL, who's been to champs before, won games at this tournament before. Feels like he's out of his depth here.
Similar play to what we
looking like another 10-2 half. 3 2-10 halves for Trace in a row.
It's all supplemented by that util. Taking point, Prowler spots it in through the door.
I actually am perfectly fine with this being a fast series where Trace gets drubbed, because I'm currently dog sitting and I feel a bit bad for because Beth's just left. And so their dogs, you know, crying at the door and stuff like that. So I just want to. Oh man.
That's a 10-2 half for DRX. Domination doesn't even begin to describe it.
This is the experience difference. This is Trace having not played Lotus against top teams in the world and been able to refine their meta over the course of scrims. This is DRX winning the map, barring a miracle.
$210 reverse incoming.
Trade in any phone in any condition, guaranteed, and get $800 off the new Galaxy Z Fold 6. Only on Verizon.
Been on Reddit 8 years.
Wings.
Specialized dope boy from the 213. Yeah, the kicks powder blue like the UNC. All I need is one time and now she won't leave. Girl, this ain't no K-pop, ain't no G-O-D. I fly to Bahamas just so I get a tan. Mark on my back just like a letterman. Do the hoop, that's the aim one. Everybody swinging, let me know when you land one. Fed the weight, now get your weight, see I don't take two, now this'll take one. They wanna run it back, I keep it laced up. Look, I ain't got time for your fake love. Roll up with the gang, we gon' violate. Biggie hella fly with no stylist. Yeah, ain't no middleman, I get it direct. Yeah, big wrist watch, but it's timeless. Ooh, she gon' work it like she got no time left. Yeah.
How long is it here? Do that.
I know she like it by the way your eyes dilate. Ooh, she a bad vibe, wanna vibrate.
For the map so far, it's, you know, scrappy, it's individualistic. Teams and players, you know, they're leaning into that raw aim and just hoping that they can brute force their way through a lot of these scenarios here. But for Trace as well, I mean, reflecting on how far they've come, this is a bit of a heartbreaking scenario for them, I think, as well, when the expectations were probably quite high for themselves. They come out of their group as the first seed, but now it's feeling like they're in a bit of a free fall.
I would agree with that. I mean, they got the most unlucky playoff matchup they could have done, playing against EDG, who know them like the back of their hand. And now as we get more closely to playoffs...
Yeah, you could sort of tell that DRX are also very aware.
Punish their map pool. DRX today banning Ascent to force Trace to take us here to Lotus. And DRX have woken up and realized that they're going to win. They didn't let the DRX loss to Sentinels affect them. And they've come out here with some fire.
Yeah, and the pressure's just sliding off of them, I think, at this point, despite the fact that they are the last holders.
Who did I win in out of Heretics and
to lift the trophy.
G2? Hey, Gorilla.
That would affect them.
Yeah, there could have been a huge amount of weight on their shoulders coming into today, but they're playing.
Again, more like the Trace you were probably expected to run into. It's kind of weird how much they've fallen off.
I actually think the DRX have got better over the course of this map too. It was looking scrappy at the beginning, but some of the stuff we were watching from like...
It just makes me sad. So sad. Yeah, because you sort of expect like, oh yeah, this team actually, at least they beat Leviathan. So it's not that it invalidates how good Trace were.
50 seconds left. And this could go A or B. I mean, it looks like an A fake that they're going to try to pivot through.
Genuinely, it's like Trace have everything that they could need to be a top team. I mean, I've been saying that in China, like, if the players, the coaching staff, the right ideas, just seems the right kind of like temperament to do well.
He's to follow the traces. Meanwhile, the rest of his team happily cleaning up. And now it's curtain.
But it's just this mental barrier that tends to keep shafting them.
And if there was hope for Trace, I think it's just gone down the drain.
Because, yeah, like, it's really all down to, like, tier 1 experience, like, how you deal with this pressure. Because at some point, Trace have to do something about it, or you're going to find players who don't flounder at this stage.
Great teams. But DRX today perhaps taking their opponents more seriously? Maybe?
I think they've definitely done their research in terms of the best way that they can.
Just feels that teams are going incredibly confident that you're just going to diff Trace. End up diffing Trace.
Mako.
They haven't forced here either, which is a little bit...
Oh, it's perfect. But a TP to evacuate, so survival there for Lau King.
Guess Trace needs a mental reset.
Posturing them over towards A Rubble.
Just a bit of a confidence booster, really. And that's all it comes down to.
To the left of him. So Kai's got angles to heaven. Obviously, DRX know that, though, and there's nobody posted there. So this is going to be another opportunity for Foxy9 to mop up some ecos. See if he's good for it.
And he's got the backup.
Double jump peak.
The rendezvous, but at least behind him. He saw a lot of heads.
But they're not trying to contest.
No.
The time is simply ticking.
He's missed the timing though. Maybe falling asleep ever so slightly. The bullets.
Yeah,
Quite landing on
felt like they were waiting for Fung Fung to go, but Fung Fung needs the rest of his team to peak at the same time.
That was Buzz. He had his aim trained
Yeah.
spot. Expected outcome for him.
And a good
35 seconds.
Good time into the snake bite too to stop.
I do think that the comp change for DRX was a smart move.
It's not synced up too well, is it, from Trace? Throwing everything at the wall, seeing what can stick. Fung Fung's got to go down with a ship here. Can't survive into the next with his Marshall in his hands. And he won't, but that's up to 12 now for DRX. Right now, they're on the cusp. The confidence has been there right from the beginning, to be honest.
And have we had a more dominant map here at Champion Seoul? Not that I can remember, but my memory's not photographic.
Yeah.
But this is not just dominant in terms of the scoreline, but quick. And the rounds haven't been very close either.
Right, it feels like we just got here.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the fastest map that we've had so far. Trace is going to give it one more go.
Exactly. One more go. See if they can survive a bit longer in through this map. Opting into this fight over towards A Robber once more. It's delayed in terms of the util here, and you're going to start to see it once more. It's a season nade. Caught onto the corner. Wow, King.
Did the furthest that the third seed has got, so it's Vitality, it was DRX. No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was.
Trace are not really using that pick. And the snake.
No, Vitality was second, sorry. Heretics is third.
They're going to allow Buzz and Mako to set up another.
Whoever artist supports loses.
And Foxy9's dangerous too. He's front B with a judge. And
yeah, this spot is brutal, man.
Appears to be wandering into a spider's web.
He's clearing it well.
Yeah. At least Kai's good for that.
And Mako also just goes for a little bit of a peek as well, seeing if he can offset that advantage that's now earned and gained over for Trace. Following through here, Buzz spotting his players out, but just can't quite land it. Not there with the reaction times.
Good fights, at least here. But it was all on a dime of whether Kai wins that fight against the judge.
Any damage that Flashback does will be good for the team. Taking guns out of the hands of Trace, just making it that much more awkward.
Nice high-low. Ooh.
Important for Trace to be able to win one of these rounds where they're advantaged in the economy, just to feel like they can, to feel like they're not outclassed. There is a mental difference when you're in groups versus when you're in playoffs. There's also a mental difference when you're on a map that you've won on before and you know that you can beat global teams at, versus this, which is newer territory for them. Getting anything here is just going to give them a slight flare-up of that flickering flame of hope.
The trouble is, not much room to breathe, and every single round has danger lurking around the corner. Doesn't matter if DRX are on the low buy. Seen enough thrifty wins to know that that's the case. Sees nade up and over. Paranoia as a response. Buzz is right round the corner. Shoddy in hand. Upgrade obtained. And beaming him down. My God, Buzz! Didn't have to do it to him like that. It's dirty. It's disgusting to finish. And the angle, watch for. Fung Fung dropped to his knees. 13-3 is the finish.
Well, that was nice and easy, I guess.
I'm
looking for good color and stuff.
Lotus and DRX have already sent us barreling into the next. They have absolutely no interest in being here longer than they
All right, well, Abyss is next, and Abyss's record for Trace has not been good.
Dinner reservations, I think, something along those lines, but Abyss.
Yeah, be right back again.
Coming up as well, will be an interesting one to see if Trace can really pull anything from those hidden reserves.
Everybody, this is Fred. I'm gonna take him outside so he can have a wee. Trace just whiff and slow reactions, disappointing. Yeah, I mean, I wonder what Reddit's saying and thinking. Just Red looking at the top of the wash basket. I don't know about this.
All right, here standing by with Coach Termy as well.
Again, like, I don't think it's about whether teams respected Trace or not.
Two Sentinels.
I think
that not only motivated them, but also how.
Unless it's like subconsciously, because I feel like Vitality did their due diligence.
침착하게 잘 해준 것 같고 사실 센티널전을 저희가 첫 맵을 이길 수 있었는데 마지막 라운드 뭐 5대3 같은 경우
Like I think Vitality's attitude was more of a these guys are like good but we're better on these maps with this like Ascent Sunset and Bind.
선수들이 좀 차분하게 잘 한 것 같고 그래서 이제 좀 스코어가 좀 쉽게 나온 것 같습니다.
I think the players are staying very calm because I think when we
because Trace, I mean, do play like an EMEA team to an extent.
From the Sentinels match,
let me run ads too. Sorry, I know I just ran some.
That map too, and then I specifically mentioned you guys have to stay calm because you know look at that 5v3 situation when we had the man advantage. Don't make that happen again. Just stay calm, and I think the players are doing extremely well in terms of staying very collected and calm, getting the communication flowing very well. So I think that kind of you know the.
Fred's birthday today. He's 14. It's pretty old for a sausage dog.
And play their best game.
Well, I mean, it speaks for themselves for sure. Back to you guys.
Literally. We heard Tommy there speaking about staying calm in a man advantage situation, but this is the thing. They were staying calm, Mimi, when they were in a disadvantage situation.
Yeah, I mean, they were more than calm. They were chilling in this map. This felt like
that's a good thing to add, actually.
Thus far. And some of these round wins, especially
UKS, 8 months. Thank you very much. Sausage Rug birthday. Yeah, I think so far they're not enjoying it because I think they're wondering where Beth and her mum's gone.
And then just win in the late rounds regardless. They went over it.
I mean, it's. I'm sure after a while they'll mellow out.
Also thinking about the rest of it. I love it. Sorry, carry on.
First kills even. Wow.
It's so important to listen to Termy.
Was it 13-3?
Situation, you can still win the round. You have to take things little by little. Do not
I can hear Golden Boy talking in the background. Funny.
it didn't matter for them.
Yeah, and this honestly had echoes of the EDG game that we saw for Trace.
What was it like for Trace against EDG? Because I'm curious to see. I hate that this is their first instead of this.
That started to fail, right? That chamber was baiting out the utility. They weren't getting.
They had less first kills and lose. Here it's about even scoreline. I don't know how this works when you're 13-11 and there's what 24 rounds, but there's 23 played.
And snowballed this win for DRX.
God. It's crazy to see that they were evened out on those first kills.
Kind of duels of people winning. Lure King just lost duels to everybody other than Foxy and Mako.
pick. They decided to go here in Lotus. They had good results regionally, and it was one of their better maps. So now going to Abyss, things might get shaky.
And it's not like they didn't do well. They came out with full confidence. They got the first pick at like 8.
Fung did well against Buzz, did well against Flashback, did well against Foxy. Kai got ran over by Buzz. 8-1.
4K we had in the Verizon High.
How many rounds was played total? 16. 9 of them Kai and Buzz fight.
There are like 7 rookie players in this matchup today, and I think there were a lot of questions as to how they could perform under the pressure of the lower bracket. But I think we can
Literally just dying to the same people over and over again. 10 fights here for Fung. 6 here. 9 here.
They were having fun.
6 here.
And they were playing
6 here.
as a team. Everything you could need for your first map to maybe get a lower bracket run started.
But being realistic, those kind of plays, that play in particular should have never happened. Like the spacing between the players, how and you know the attempts of trading being so separated.
What a shitty birthday for you. Just around. Yeah, I can't win them all.
This matchup, because as I'm saying, going into Abyss, things are only going to get even more crazy.
Chilling out at least.
Feels very comfortable in this map.
Yeah, once these rounds crack open for Trace, I think they really struggle.
Oh yeah, I saw this yesterday, which I thought was really funny.
Instead of fighting forward, taking that time to
Gecko wingman.
Set up those basic things that are really hard to do under pressure. And again, it's now 2 series in a row where we've seen these problems crop up.
I'm glad you mentioned Abyss as well, because Buzz was having a great time.
Yeah, thank you for the 8 months.
He's about to absolutely dominate. I am genuinely, at this point, Mimi, a little bit worried for Trace.
I think you have to be. I mean, map 1 was a roll, and they're going into very, very comfortable territory for DRX on Abyss.
Yeah, speaking of Trace, let's hear what their coach had to say ahead of map 2.
Hey everyone, GB here alongside with Luna for translations and Coach Destroyer as we dive into this one. Your back is against the wall here. Abyss is coming up for map 2. What did you tell the team as they're getting ready to take on DRX once again?
我跟他们说，他们现在打到这里，我已经为他们骄傲了。他们不需要有。
I wonder what we'll see Trace do actually on this map. Maybe they'll just be like, we're likely to lose. If we have an idea on how we want to play it, let's play the same comp but just improve some of the fundamentals.
Well, of course, let's go ahead and send it back to the team.
I feel what's more likely is that Trace change up their comp massively.
We go to that Trace, Kakuga can come back on Abyss.
I think that it would be very poetic, and I don't want them to have another one of the Lotus that we just saw. I want that even if they get with this feeling of you already gotten this far, you were already first to the group, think about your year as a whole and how much you've grown and how well you've performed. You do not want to leave in that situation.
And I think the coach telling them...
Why didn't we pick bind? I imagine because it was banned out, or they're not comfortable. I didn't see the veto. That's the one thing I didn't see.
Down on you as a player. You have to kind of take the gloves off.
Trace banned it, actually.
I think you just speak about it.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, like, I think what matters now is the mental, the confidence, bringing back into that.
They feel it's sort of giving away a bit. I don't know what DRX's bind is like, to be honest.
I would love to see what they go with in terms of composition, because 2 times
Like
they
record and stuff.
maybe a 3rd time lucky.
Beat Crew, lost to Genji, beat Paper X.
International stage, maybe they want to
So pretty good bind.
mix and match. We've seen a lot.
Maybe that's a map that they've scrimmed a lot against them, you know?
Surprised that they pick up something from another team.
Oh, it's the Astra. They're incorporating the Astra.
Jet Silver KO Astra.
I think that global utility is super powerful on defense.
I'm glad that they got rid of the Viper because I don't think that they were using it very well.
On this map, and having that KO
What was the old comp again for Trace?
really powerful combo.
It is
Abyss.
for a second you might look at this and you think this is a send, but it goes a lot about gathering that information, trying to read onto your opponent, and
Yeah, they were trying Sky KO as single initiators. But yeah, trying to do a double controller like Billy-esque comp.
Going up against Buzz as well.
But now they got a Jet.
They
They got an Astra.
He's proud of his boys already, but Brandon Saito, imagine if they bring it back.
Because his words are really comforting. Yeah, I mean,
completely chopped and changed up.
no point dooming about it now.
They haven't had good showcases when they played this map in the past. Only 2 times that they have played it.
First international event and they make playoffs. Not many teams make a big international event like this, right?
Stage playing this map, but that does open them up to potentially getting counter-strategy, getting
High Jet, we're cooking. We could be, yeah. That's a good point, actually. A lot of the maps that we have seen them play have been...
maybe an element to try and shut down Buzz head-to-head.
Yeah, and with Trace having
No sign. No set, no bind is tough. I mean, I don't think they're... I mean, they second ban bind. I don't think that bind for Trace is necessarily an amazing map for them now that they've shown off the deadlock stuff. That's always the risk when you run a comp like that, is quite literally that deadlock is easy to read and easy to telegraph. There is only so much that you can do with them.
I have to say,
I really do think so. It's a high-low setup as well to try and...
Yeah, high-low's nice. Camera's good. Leo King just still... Sorry.
He responds. It's 2 players chopped up.
Leo King.
That is just decisiveness and composure on display. In the blink of an eye, the round upended. Lao King pull back at the start, tries to fake like he could be backing away.
Kind of disappointed we don't see stage 1 Feng Feng. We haven't seen that for a while. Bits and pieces in places perhaps, but mostly, yeah, we haven't seen him. On like Raze and stuff or Cypher. Even like stage 2, he had his moments. I think he was still a top ACS player.
it's such a big map. I don't think he will have heard the footsteps there.
All because Lao King decided to take a bit of a marathon sprint, and he's got time to do this.
Yeah, and he can play a post plant, but he's going to have to try to fight aggro for a kill first. Yeah. You're not going to be able to win a passive post plant here, even as Astra with a pull, by just...
So, like, the noise for Luo is like Lao as in allow.
He's trying to fake it out, seeing if there's still a defender over on the A site. He doesn't quite understand. He's still going to have that recalled smoke, though, as a pull. But like I say, I think he's got to try to fight for one pick here at least. A 1v2 you can just about manage.
He might be offered one. Him versus Fox C9. No way. They spotted each other though. Lao King, that's cheeky.
Winnable.
Baited almost. It is winnable. Especially with the star.
I pronounced it wrong. Isn't it like Law? I thought it was Locking.
One way in his face though.
Locking, lurking.
Paranoia is perfect. Buzz sticking a bit of body block in action. Oh. No way. They get half. Vulnerable up though, but Buzz is now sticking this, and Lao King forced to do.
Oh, unlucky. Nice try.
Piece in the end, but still
good effort from Locking.
Earned up by Buzz, just full sticking it away, and some cheeky plays as well. The mechanics on display. That's hard to do. You can try it in a custom game.
I mean, that is brilliant. We've seen so many teams at Champs try to do the same thing.
Yeah.
It only takes the slightest misalignment to throw that off.
Luo.
Sliding past each other. Locking did the best that he possibly could. He even found that pick that he was looking for to bring things down into a 1v2. He's going to be gutted there.
Luo.
In his head, he probably thinks he got the time.
So it is very phonetically pronounced. Luo. It's not Luo, it's Luo. Luoking. Luoking.
And DRX, you know,
which is why I guess people say locking. It's Luo.
I think, you know, boring, I think, by the standard, by a lot.
It's like it's
in terms of what they're playing.
Luo.
G2 and Fnatic are throwing in. It's quite a standard comp that has a lot of ideas.
Sounds good when you say it right.
Maps like Ascent, you're refreshing the one way to try and control extremity control. You try and
because there's the old RNG player, isn't there? Which was Xiao Nuo, sorry.
Clear. Still, they're going to use the drone to do just that.
I think Omen needs a nerf.
Precisely what they use for.
I agree. I do think Astra on this map is nice, though. I don't even think it's that. I think I would like to see the devs.
When it comes to his matchup against Sentinels, but okay, finally denied that spot.
Luar is walking up though.
Sheriff shots need to be clean. Lao King just can't.
Also, I imagine for casters, calling Bian K
in that spot there, 3 surviving for DRX
is a little bit unnecessary, right?
I wonder if the Outlaw gets picked
if
up.
most of China just knows him as like Lil Bian, might as well just call him Bian, right? That'd be fine.
The style that DRX love to go with. They always have somebody hard anchoring on the B site, and then the rest can flood in based off that distraction. While the rest of Trace are trying to deal with Buzz in this position, they can't really be putting their crosshairs over towards Heaven and over towards B-Link. Just allows people like Bane to flood back through.
Yeah.
And Buzz is amazing as a distraction. He's often good for 1 or 2 in that back of B site. I thought the Outlaw was going to go back into his hands, but you can see Bane picks that one up, looks towards mid, as Buzz gets the knives online.
The only controller agent that can do a proper one-way. That's true.
Sitting back.
Yeah.
Yeah, trip for the mid presence. Knife delay by Foxy9. He's looking for signs of util to be used, but contact plays. But now he takes the timing anyway. Gets the acknowledgement just from the one. Might not be a lot.
I don't really know how you do, like, how you can fix that? I don't think you nerf one ways. I think one ways are fine.
Getting that cage, sorry, threatening. I'm not sure the cage was actually good.
But
Buzz got that sightline through, but they're going to look for an easy plant here.
how do you fix that for Astra, Brim, Clove?
Onto the bridge, and there is util that could potentially be used to try and push this one back. Shock darts already flying through. Kaido is ahead of most of this one, underhanded. Foxy9, the flash to play off of, but they're going to be biding their time, waiting it up, and they have full side control. It's going to be trying to play it from B main, rifles in hand. Feng at least dismissing Buzz out of the fight in the action now. But util back and renewed.
First plant feels like it's a good one.
For this one, they're going to be trying to body block this again. Yeah, it looks like it. Why not?
Yeah, they could just stick it.
No way, man! They just stick it! It's stolen.
Really nicely done. There you go.
Players survive. You keep rifles into the necks if you are Trace, but that is just brutal.
Don't go under there.
We haven't seen another team be able to pull it off with the level of consistency required for the Astra to look useless on this map.
Who the hell was it? Someone was about to give it a go, and he said, no, actually, Mako, you do it. It was Foxy9. He was like, no, I don't trust myself. Mako, you do it. You're so good at it. And just a full stick for flashback. The nade delayed.
Does the Astra Stuck even do anything there? Not if it's body block.
Everything is still really, really solid from Trace on pistol and on round 3. No problems with the way that Lorking is playing.
He's body blocking? Yeah.
It's just that the pull is being countered.
Yeah, and it's such an odd scenario for them surviving. Money is flourishing right now for Trace with the loser's bonus. Getting ahead of the knife. Buzz does not spot any targets. Stars at his feet. It's going to be difficult.
I think it's good, though. I think Adamy's a little bit like, do I like that? Do I think that should be like nerfed? Like the pull should like be a lot more robust?
Magnetic. And he has
I mean, Trace have lost the pistol and the bonus for in the first round 4 times in a row. They went from winning pretty much all of the pistols to losing them all. What's it been like so far for this?
Unless they're going to put the Cosmic Divide up and use it
Against EDG, lose pistol, lose bonus, go 7-0 down.
They've got no hope.
Here, they lose pistol, they win the bonus.
What are you supposed to do about it? Even if you try
But they still go 10-2 down. They lose towards the end.
He's so confident in himself.
And then DRX, they lose the pistol, they win the bonus, but then lose everything else.
If you want somebody to step up and be able to pick
Like, you can't be starting maps like this. There's just something 4-1 down, 4-0 down.
In the past,
4-0 down, 4-1 up. That's good.
Good for it as well. Other players would step up at various times in other rounds.
The only reason why these were a little bit close is because they win the second pistol and
I do feel for them because round
like
1 and round
do good here.
essentially stolen away, despite how well Trace played those.
And then here, 4-1 down, 3-1 down,
I mean, most
4-0 down here.
struggled to perfectly align themselves.
I'm still really happy proud of Trace. I am too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not being overtly critical of this team. I don't think anybody really should be.
DRX pull it out back to back to steal away those rounds.
Now, I don't
It's a similar thing to EDG, realistically, where
it's difficult to pull off in the moment. Get yourself.
I get more frustrated by some of the stuff because I've seen it consistently happen all year. And if you're in any position of power with a team, you would look to fix these things, but they haven't been fixed. Like, EDG looked so good against Trace yesterday because they were so like, well-drilled, well-disciplined. People weren't lurking, people were isolating themselves. They knew how Trace played, and they countered it pretty well. But I can already see that EDG against Sentinels are going to just be peeking and doing stupid shit, and nobody's going to die an interlot on his own, and there's going to be a lot of questionable decision-making. As if that they could not take what they did against Trace against Sentinels. Because that's just the way that it's gone all year. That when you look at him like Trace, like hopefully now they can actually punish EDG for some of their like transgressions. EDG with those same transgressions then go and start winning, and it starts working for them.
Mako's home. I would have to land a good one to take him out early.
There are so many positions.
It's just very frustrating to watch. I don't really like the jet dashing in like this, but it's...
Yeah, that's pretty bad from Mako, actually. There was a while there that the one-way was down and he didn't realize...
I think being aggressive with the op, though, is fine.
Stray bullets up from heaven.
I don't think you go any further than this.
Aggressive.
I swear, if he dies to Buzz with this op angle...
In the chamber to do some damage. Cam to clear, just the intersection of hell there. And
yeah, nicely done. And Bladestorm now, and
the knives to no avail there for Kai.
Almost too theatrical.
Now pulling some of this util out of Trace. Reveal onto Heibei. Position is
I don't get why we played lower bracket games before the upper bracket. Well, because it's playoffs, teams have been here an ample amount of time.
Transfer allow King, slowing it down. No way.
Oh no. He's 3 HP.
Oh, goodness me.
I think it's also like if you go down to the losers bracket, you deserve the nerf, I suppose, of having to like play as soon as possible. If you make the upper bracket, you have a day like to prepare.
This transfer, it's beautiful to collect the 2. And he just can't quite land it. The bullet's just running out. He can't get the weapon in time off the floor.
5 rounds in a row from DRX.
It's going to be another 10-2 half, isn't it?
A little cruel about this.
Yeah, some sort of, I don't know, home territory buff or something.
But I think the EDG would have lost to DRX too. So, like, DRX are a really good team. I like how they play.
Just clips the side of Heibei. Up and over the dash. The res is online because
this is just Trace playing bad rather than DRX. They've had to change. I mean, it's better than what we saw from Trace before, honestly.
He has to try and provide that supportive fire, but he's backs himself out. Foxy Knight's been played himself back in. Up and over the top as Heaven was not smoke, or at least it faded. Now the paranoia glides its way in. Blind as anything, all Q's cut away, but just a tip and top of the head.
Like, if it was just an 8-team double elimination, maybe you have the upper bracket games first, so the losers bracket teams can be there a little bit longer.
Discipline on display here.
Right, you need to win a clutch.
Bianche's got to try and make that play. Dark clears in through the back of the side.
Can't do anything.
From Mako. He knows the weapon well, and he knows the play to make.
And this is why DRX's strategy on B works so perfectly, because even when Buzz, Flashback get overwhelmed in that position, the distraction plays in all of their teammates.
Wait. Okay, I've just seen something ludicrous. The operator fell off the map, and somebody's just jumped off the map and picked it off as the round went into the next to save the op.
Ain't no way.
What?
I don't know if anybody can pick that up on the replay while we've got replays going, but on somebody's POV, I think it might have been Bane. He just grabbed the op as the round went into the next, off the edge of the map. And you're gonna listen, Trace has just taken a timeout, so please, if you can grab that, that is insane.
Oh, I can't wait to see this.
What you're talking about.
The operator fell off the map, off the edge as Buzz died.
Yeah.
And so it was retrievable, but you had to drop off the map to grab it. So they've timed it as the round is ending, Bane has grabbed the operator as he's falling in midair to save it into the next.
Ain't no way.
I'm telling you.
That's unbelievable.
I'm telling you, I can't believe what I've just seen.
There's the op. You can see the op. It's still there. Damn. Okay, well, Trace, to focus on them just for a moment as they're taking the tank time out. This one has been utterly brutal. It's been so different to Lotus, and yet the scoreline suggests it's been exactly the same.
Yeah.
DRX have much better ideas on this map, absolutely, similar to Lotus. But Trace
I just think the team coming from the upper bracket should have the advantage in prep time. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Swing rounds, and all 3 of them have gone the other way, and I think that, you know,
I mean, when they're doing it like this, I guess they want the weekend games to be the most exciting.
Look at this.
No shot.
As the round's going into the next to save the operator. How insane is that?
That is so
It's crazy.
Oh my god.
I wonder if it was purposely thrown and left there.
I don't know. Not questioning it.
Honestly, DRX are the ways in which they've been winning these rounds. It hasn't been luck. It has been skillfully done, but from Trace's POV, when they watch this back, they'll be amazed.
And then the op just instantly back on the angle. Hunter's Fury to add a little bit of chaos as well. That's really nice from DRX.
Stand your ground against that. Bianche drop to the spectator seat. Fung Fung. Oh no, just about missing that timing as well, but he's trying to play Kai in. Sneaking up and creeping up through mid. There is these timings to be taken.
I think if you want to play post plant, you might need the Viper.
At least some of these fights. They are
Hey, Sonya.
backed off and away. can potentially be happy the fact that they did manage to get that kill onto Mako.
Yeah, I think that this is a better situation than Trace.
This goes 13-0. I'd blame Artis.
Even though there's nobody there, because DRX have got no re-clear utility. Bane.
It's gonna be 10-2 again.
Give up mid and hope there's no lurker. It should make the sights a little weaker.
But yeah, it's going good.
Now anticipating an A hit because B has never worked.
I'm crying now. This is awful to watch. It's a
He's just so fluid with
good
his
experience.
around, but there's a lot of angles to account for. He smoked off, away from it, rifle fire.
I think Trace, if they're not feeling the burnout, it'd be nice to see them play a lot of off-season events. There's not really that many in China, I don't think.
In and through, Buzz is having the easiest game of his life because he's being supported so elegantly, man.
Yeah.
He can do no wrong.
I love the recon dart as well that Bane throws out. A lot of the top Sova players are throwing that one. Learn it for your games as well. Everyone's going to take this as a learning moment, I suppose. Trace as well, because what else can you do?
It's actually such a stomp.
But you fire the recon the opposite side of the choke point so that as the attackers are facing towards heaven or facing towards sight, they'd have to do a 180.
Funnily enough, I think the Trace are playing a lot better than they have done on this map.
It plays Buzz in
So I'm not too displeased.
I mean, look, they are dominating. Yeah. Any area that Buzz is at is untouchable.
I don't want to see them grind too much that they burn out, otherwise you just have an EDG situation again.
From Trace's point of view,
but yeah,
when you flip that,
especially with the season starting, it sounds like January next year.
They get themselves in. DRX are always, they've always run into the operator. They've always
It'll be fine. It'll be fun.
The perfect player flooding in off the back. And here they're trying to go into Buzz again. They do have the drone to try to push him off the angle.
Okay. Not that it stopped Buzz before.
No. And here in this rampage,
No, they're not here.
the players come in onto B.
He's been
based
missed.
off Buzz distraction.
He's been missed. Shots fired, and Buzz is right ahead of most of this.
This time they hold for Foxy9's flood.
Yes. So dropping one of the players there, Mako just cannot control the rifle.
Love that.
Come on, Low King. I forgot how you pronounce it again.
Rooted out. The
Lower.
defenders watching it slightest of off angles and wandering from Bane will be punished.
What a nice adjustment from Trace, realizing that if you focus on Buzz, you get killed by either him or everybody else. So instead, they just push Buzz back a little bit and try to kill the others coming out through heaven, through B.
They said they've been playing about 8 scrims a day for the past 2 weeks in one of their recent blogs. Yeah, that's just too much.
Unknown if that came from the TAC timeout that we saw earlier or whether that's from, you know...
Had to get around.
For example, as the
7-1, of course. Have they all been 7-1s? To begin with. 7-1, yeah.
Utility, the whole map.
7-0, 7-1.
Yeah.
Finally, rifle out.
How many times do you see the control?
This would be 7-2.
Yeah, business done.
Like I said, I mean, taking matters.
Trace 3 Brazil scorelines in 4 maps.
I'm imagining. I'm
still struggling to be honest with you.
I'm engaging my brain.
Yeah, picking up Luar's done so much for Trace, like actually competing.
Post-plant situations, so you know, get in, get plant down, get out, still be able to sink some.
I know they want to make the most out of the international line experience, but that's what, like 8 to 10 hours of scrimming alone.
Some extra layer for me to believe that they can take the majority of these next 4.
You don't review every scrim though.
An aggressive play.
So maybe off the back of Buzz. At least they hold over towards B.
You might review
They want to go for something aggressive.
1 a day, I'd say. But it also depends on, like, out of 8 maps that you're scrimming, what maps, how are you doing those?
The operator.
Are you focusing on one map and then throwing in a couple of the others?
Trying to push Trace into this trap on B.
Yeah.
Here.
Buzz.
I think 4 scrims a day is pretty much perfect.
Be able to go for like the updraft play, Mako taking some chip.
6 at most. 8 is criminal.
Dash as well, Buzz. Getting ahead of himself, and he realizes
Because yeah, you're just playing for reps. That's why these teams are trying to mechanically good, but decision making is a little bit questionable.
Of that stuff as well. The spam onto the box, clearly aware.
It's given that player advantage over.
Tyloo Luo King is a whole different person. I've always liked him on Tyloo.
Dangerous.
Could say the same for Foxy9. You don't want to be slipping there.
And this Fury on the attack.
Pushing out through the back of the side. No way.
This whole fucking fight is awful. You got 30 seconds now.
The Trace still want to make a play for this one. There's a full swarm of players here. Defending rotations from DRX.
Why is it that they used to Hunter's Fury and nothing happens? Like, you want to be doing it as the push comes in, right? Like, cause a bit of chaos. Fung needs to fight this.
He's working magic across the site. Fung sees the operator, feels like saving it, but no, just backs away with a rifle.
He's going for the save in the 1v2. I mean, if that doesn't give you a glimpse as to the mentality of Trace, I suppose the rest of the match, you could figure it out for yourself.
Yeah.
Miscommunication.
Where Trace get the opening kill, and this one, not a
Because
scrappy affair.
Kai's got... is Kai still alive here? Yeah.
A solid 5v4 here to try to...
Because Kai's just here with the op. So they're trying to execute on site without a jet. Like, you've got you don't have them dashing in, you don't have them taking space. You just have him holding, and so the KO has to go in first. Not really their job.
Throwing anything weird into the mix. And I'm afraid it's looking just as dominant as Lotus was.
They're going all in. Into the trips too as well, up and over the top.
Nice. That's better. That's more like what I want to see. Just from Trace full stop. Good spacing there. If one of them goes down, they get traded, surely.
Straight bullet to the cranium, a flashback.
That's a nice paranoia.
From DRX still, as the smoke does dissipate. Bane trying to hold his ground.
Don't hate this peak. Really don't hate this from Kai.
He's on one. Dashes here, you can feel it. Empower, but doesn't account for Foxy 9 there, so there will be no ace. But still, with the damage done.
All right, 8-2. 8-4 is winnable.
A much better attack.
I don't know.
Buzz playing in a very different position as well, trying to mix things up.
Trace got to choose the attack side first.
Caught by that flash.
Because it's a new comp, I don't really know what, like, statistically they're doing, like, on their defense. But DRX are quite good on attack now. It's an attacking sided map. New agent stuff, surely.
They've gone to many lengths to protect
Stone Roses. Oh, imagine if it was Mancunian. Because he's like a he, she, I don't know.
Listen, I don't know if they're here, but I do.
I think it's a she, actually. That was confirmed. See, that's better. Like, that's just so much nicer. Just an execute. But Trace have not really been doing executes all that much, even like on Sunset. A lot of stuff that they were doing was very like slow and passive, mid-roundy, finding lurks and stuff. I think Trace, if they have good like utility setups and good players on each of the agents with lineups. But you've got Bian on Silver. Use it. Heibei's KO is not bad.
The map has just been a struggle for them.
But it does look like they're heavily favored to win this one. The economy, I was going to say massively favored for them, but, you know, an AWP, a rifle, and
a trip here and a trip here.
To be honest with you, there's still a lot of danger that DRX can throw out here.
Stacking over towards B. Pulling players back up.
Quite a nice trip, actually, because if you're playing Heaven, you can just spray him down. It's like the reverse East Sunset trip.
So this essentially feels, I mean, now it definitely looks like DRX know exactly what's up. They're trying to fake presence over towards B with the drone.
Might be the shortest stream I've done.
He's got absolutely nothing done. In fact, it's
done in just over an hour. Because I'm not going to watch the second series. At least I'm not going to stream the second series. Take Fred for a walk. And then play some other game.
Navigate away from most of these trips as well. I believe the knife connected. Mako's inside one. Flashback still here. Up, trapped up and over. Blade storm in hand. Not enough for Buzz.
Oh, they just dropped down instantly.
Just the one before the trade.
Are they both low? They're low-ish.
But the operator is the weapon of choice. Maybe not by his choice, but he's got to work with it nevertheless.
And they're going to finally break the curse.
You might want to save the op for the final round.
If they don't lose the half 10-2, they win.
They already knew roughly where he was.
That's my prediction.
Had that neural theft out.
So I'm saying the Trace either win the map now, or DRX somehow win this clutch.
Doubled up. It's a bit of a high-low setup there by Trace. Enough to sail there through, at least out a third round. Added to the tally. One more potentially makes it doable.
One more is all they'll have access to. I mean, they better hope that it makes it doable. Squandered their chances at a better half thus far. Kai has been the only player really opening things up. Lorking had his chances and he did a great job. So I suppose I shouldn't count him out either. But Kai's aggressive entrying has actually worked to get them into sights. They're going to double up on the attack side here, despite the fact they're set up to go for something fast on B.
Yeah,
seems
a bit of a head scratcher. Flash and dash play out through mid as well. Hung Fung will survive. Uses the cage just to make sure he can back away there. Looking to reclaim some of that space up through mid. Now to no command.
No blade saw.
Emanates his way out. Trips. That is bizarre stuff that I'm seeing. Up and over Fruity's a kill trips to try and at least potentially play off here, but DRX, they wanted to try and play in front of all of this. Bodies swinging out wide and still collecting and claiming all sorts of kills.
Look how annoying that smoke is.
Not much you can get through. Another one-way. Blooms and blossoms. How do you play your way past this one? Cosmic Divide is committed here. Lao King wants to try and get himself in, but that's an underhanded with a flash. Cleaning him up. Still walking straight into Kai. Does have the Blade Storm. Up and over now. Updraft dash. Nowhere near is his teammate playing with him, though. And as that fades away, that is great reactions. Kai once more has to be that playmaker. Steps up to that challenge. Wasn't quite a tap, now a full stick. Feng's been smoked off though, and the angle not watched for. He's looking all the way up into the high ground still. Down to just Kai. Again to do it. Dodges the paranoia, but plenty of bullets.
Go on, Kai. Ooh, close.
He's hoping and hunting.
You're buying a good amount of time.
Operating out in his hands.
Bringing up the op is a cute idea. Oh, I thought he jumped off the map.
What is going on, son?
Ooh. Not enough time. Nice temp, though. I'm watching fucking Overwatch there for a second.
There in the final moments, but it's still only going to be 3 for Trace. I thought Mako was about to throw himself off the map.
It looked like it, man. It looked like it, but still.
DRX maintain control, don't they?
Held down, yeah.
Love the way that they've been playing this map in general. They only need 4 more to close things out.
That's looking like dominance, though. Another similar tale is just weaved here by DRX, and we're going to see if it continues into Abyss.
I keep sitting like next to my chair, so I keep trying to move their bed to be right next to me, so they can just lay on their bed, but I think they just prefer the cold floor.
Red Bull gives you wings.
No, they're barking, but they've kind of like lost their voice a bit. You missed the walking whiff? Sorry. You can't win them all. What's it like now? How many defusers? 5, 6? 6, 8. So the run was, the spike was planted 8 out of 12 times. Which is honestly not too bad. And some of those like defuse losses were close. So like, I mean, even if this ends up being 13-3, at least we saw some good stuff out of Trace on this map.
All eyes on to the pistol round here, 9-3. DRX once more. I mean, in terms of just finishes for the first half, you can feel, I think, very confident if you're a DRX fan. I think DRX themselves are going to be feeling very confident, I think, heading into this next follow-up in through Abyss.
And for Trace, it really is only those 2 players at the top of the scoreboard that are doing much, to be honest.
Yeah.
Kai's 17-9. How do you get that scoreline when you're down 9-3? That is pretty ridiculous, no? But yeah, almost 6 times as many kills as the people at the bottom of the scoreboard.
That's
and
insane.
Historically, the defense has been bad for Trace, but it's a brand new comp. We should probably just reset our expectations, but it's difficult.
What a hard day, tough day. Not eating good tonight. Trace's pull map pool.
So far today.
Pull map pool on an international stage.
Nuclear, I think.
All gamers, if you can hear me, please save us in 2025. All gamers, JDG,
Very familiar position.
Wolves, I think.
Onto that ankle.
Next year should be a lot more competitive. I think Tyloo as well. If they keep SLK and they do right by basically trying to find the next new talent. If you can take mechanically good players and have somebody like SLK to teach them how to play from the beginning, basically, you know, you find 5 primies, you're going to make that a crazy team. 3v3. You still got one watching for a lurk.
That's a really important fight.
And everybody's just dying and fighting alone. It's such a bad round from Trace.
Second top performer. It's been heartbreak for him in terms of the rounds where he could have had that impact. Stopped in his tracks. taking these fights. Very individualistic, but yeah, Mako's there eventually.
All the pistols lost.
Kill alongside Flashback. That's 10 rounds now for DRX, a pistol round as well. And for Trace, what options do you have at this point? I mean, you got a force, I think, really, but...
I feel like group stages are more competitive in playoffs. I mean, you've just naturally got more teams, right? It's...
They didn't even kill enough players. I think this is DRX, long suspected after what we saw as the opening to Lotus, but I think this is where...
what was I going to say? I was going to say something in particular.
Easily. Barring a very unusual twist and
How do you lose 5v3? Just over-facing, over-peaking. Tilt setting.
Fans to see them come out in their first game of the lower bracket.
Yeah, you've just got more teams and more stylistic matchups. Here you've got some interesting teams and then some like hot contenders.
For the fans,
hey,
I'm not going to say expecting an outcome like this, I think, some sort of dominant performance, but they definitely need...
You might see Leviathan lose to Fnatic today, in which case all other teams from Group C went out first. Which I don't think is that surprising. I think Group C was probably the weakest group out of all of them.
The Korean fans here in person would be absolutely...
on average.
And very unexpected to lose Gen G and DRX this early. It would have been unthinkable.
Oh no, sorry, yeah, G2 lost, not Lev.
Like it's going to
Wishful thinking on my fucking pick'ems.
go for a stack in the right place, but
exactly
doesn't catch too much.
Everybody accounted for. Up to 11 here.
So Fnatic versus G2. So you've got the two teams from Group A in the losers bracket first.
It's not just signs of life from DRX as well, though. This is just purely a clean sweep almost in terms of a win.
Yeah, it's dominant. And it's also two maps that they're really strong on and have showcased that they're really strong at this event. DRX's Lotus was kind of so-so before coming into champs, but I think the addition of adding that chamber in certainly caught Fnatic off guard. That's a huge win to be able to get, and it's worked beautifully here as well. And Abyss has just been home territory for them.
Yeah, they're going to go for the B-hit simulator. Look at the util, just sails up and over the head.
They're very practiced.
Yeah, Fung
Trust the dog, Ryan. I will do at the end.
Again, he's going to get traded. Trying to take the fight.
Right now they're just pottering about. I don't want to run after them.
Spot as well to try and pick apart.
Yeah, don't get bonused.
Trace. Spammable box corner. You got Buzz taking point as well. They're going to have to use util to try and clear him out. Knife against it.
It was kind of crazy that you were looking for the lurk on the pistol, but now you're full sended it, and this lurk could be super damaging. Buzz playing on site, everybody else playing post plant. Recon cleared, time bought, flash used in the position where it's only going to get one. This lurk is perfectly timed, seamless.
Trace, they need to try and hold these guns and hold them well. Fire in line, sticking it forwards.
He didn't even get half. They didn't even show the lurk. Yeah, it feels donezo.
Do end up losing their weaponry towards the end of things here. But I mean, this round...
I don't know why they didn't get half, though. I don't know if they got pulled off of it.
To Lotus. 13-3 is on the horizon. And the way that DRX dealt with that did end up just being textbook. And I think that worked.
They play post plant.
How the Korean squad has played all day.
DRX are just better. They deserve this. Yeah, absolutely. Agree.
Exactly. Limit testing. They don't want to give away footage of how they play the rest of the map. They can't stop the B hits. Just keep running it. Flashes are connecting. Nade in through the back as well.
Nice fun.
Stands it down still. Damage was done to him, so he was softened, weakened.
I like Bane's Sova though. I think he gets a lot of value with his stuff.
There's time is to be taken. Bianca and Kai, they are capitalizing. Mako.
Not the best fight for Bianca. Mako in a 1v2. It's a kill, he can TP out.
We'll deliver those death blows. Enough for Trace to survive another day.
Perhaps DRX are going to have to bring something different out heading into the round after this one.
In this case, Trace is bad. This is kind of in line with the Trace that you expected to see at an international event. But let's not go overboard with expectations just because, like, they got here.
A fragment grenade has to readjust very, very quickly. But all of these bright spots.
Just seems that, like, Trace also lose to young, yet more experienced teams.
And we do often see eco rounds to close out these kind of...
Because DRX have aimers as well. They're happy to take aim duels, but they're also much more well-versed to being on stage like this. Well, at least Flashback, Buzz, and Mako.
Maybe wishful thinking on your part?
More Foxy 9 Mako buzz, actually. Bane and Flashback are probably the least experienced.
Would have been nice for the stories, but alas, I'm another broken gen.
I had no expectations from, but still had expectations. I mean, they did look as bad as if they go out here, they went out not looking as bad as BLG or FPX.
Just how tested and pulled, I think.
Can't fault them.
Even against the weaker buy, they feel like they have to use ults.
Now going back into Kai, full rotate while Trace stay anchored to A. The cam spots it out. This should start the defensive rotates coming through. And yet, it wasn't real.
What is happening here?
What a horrible ult.
Being unloaded, and in what direction? Where's that going, Bianca?
Listen, if there's
I thought it was B.
Yeah, and it clears the way to absolutely nothing still. Now the indicator is on, but...
I mean, it has forced a fast rotation, from, like fast execute from DRX. So it's expensive, but I don't hate the idea. Because this is like, suddenly DRX are like, oh, they think it's B, let's go away quickly. But there's 3 defenders here already.
A bit panicked, and I think that's what's going to happen when you've only won 8 rounds.
FPX was a victim of the group, but therefore they could have won against Heretics.
3x more rounds than
Yeah, but the Lotus comp and stuff, it's hard to get over that.
in these kind of situations, I feel like you've got to use the ults to close them out. It seems like a decent protocol on a rifle round if that happens.
Might go a bit way too much, why do I believe? It would be one of the greatest stories of all time if they manage it.
By Marco. It's created a massive ult advantage for this.
It just goes to show where the problem is for Trace. It's just those first halves. It takes them way too long to get accustomed to a map.
So he was lit up. There was chances for Kai to rip the opposition's head off.
How do you improve that? The easiest thing to do is like come up with a shit ton of good pistols.
They're leaving.
Yeah, cam is cleared.
Kai.
Oh, flashback's caught him.
Whoa. I mean, Kai's teammates just left him out to die. They marooned him on a desert island.
Oh, yeah. No SOS or smoke signal saving you there. No rough theft online for flashback. You can hear it. He's got it. Hat flung wide gives him that information now. They know it's split straight down the middle. 2 for 2. Loud King's position out through the back of the side as well. Where's the supportive util? Flash is there. It's perfect.
Nice execute. See, that's like how you want to be using a Hunter's Fury on attack. Compare that to Kai almost had him. Literally, if he just shot initially instead of jumping.
Throughout the middle of that as well.
Oh boy.
Scroll wheel jump, I think. Yeah, done right. This execute's just too good, too compact. RNR used to buy some time, and then it forces out this player to go fight. There's a trip there too. This is beautiful post plant.
Good luck getting through this. Good luck stepping over that barrier.
All right.
DRX.
Well, Trace's year is done, but honestly, good effort.
Cleaning up the lower bracket.
Lose against a good-looking DRX.
Will be eliminated.
Flawless, clean, textbook.
So I have Fnatic losing this next game.
Confidence, the DRX fans who might have been worried that the last bastion of hope for Pacific, for Korea, was going to end up in an inglorious end. I mean,
It's a crazy elimination game.
Got to showcase 2 of their best maps.
What is it, Fnatic vs G2? Yeah.
Crushed Trace.
Yeah.
But what a performance from Trace to even get to this point. The fact that they went out ignominiously does not mean that they're...
Right, I'm not going to hang around because I'm not staying for the second series. I will look to... I'll probably host Sliggy, actually. And then you can watch the rest of today with him. No Oily Ryan. It was always going to be a bit of a stretch. But yeah, I'll show you Fred. Give me a second.
Determined look after his win in groups.
Absolutely.
Now a bit of disappointment, I'm sure, but today belongs to DRX.
It does. They survive. One more day, a little bit longer in through the playoffs as well. A chance to potentially dish out some damage and get revenge for the Korean Patriots.
I don't know if I can't really see him that well.
They have that chance. They've earned it here and today.
Where are we?
I think they didn't just survive. They made a statement, I think.
Yeah. And it's their birthday.
They can crush teams.
Special little shout out.
In playoffs, if you're not ready for them.
They're like barking at the door because Beth and her mum left. Only like an hour and a half ago. This whole series has been 90 minutes.
This team's starting to
Looks
get
like a gentleman.
going.
Very noisy, can be naughty.
Multiple ways. I mean, it really was just
Wanted to go to the toilet like 5 AM last night.
Fortunate for Trace with a few of these
So,
early rounds. These
and because the balcony's like
a few stray bullets potentially
terraced, they can actually get over to the other balconies quite easily, so I have to put them on the
Maybe
lead.
it would have made a difference to make it a closer game on Abyss, but
I have a strong feeling DRG are going to win this champs. I was going to say that'd be a surprising story. But yeah, I will put Fred down for
those
one.
possibilities on Lotus, it was all pure domination from DRX.
I was going to go back at the door again. And I will host Sliggy.
For individual players, whether Buzz is going to be able to play back up to it after
Is
getting
it
knocked
Sliggy TV? Isn't it?
team did. I think they all picked up the pieces and they all.
So you can watch Fnatic vs G2 with him.
Post-match interview, and I believe as well.
And yeah, one China team left. We get to watch them tomorrow and maybe Sunday if they lose against Sentinels. So let's see. Let's see how it goes. But thanks for watching, everybody. See you tomorrow. Bye.